Health is also available. If y'all, yeah. All right, we are looking at lesson 65. Advanced substitution. In Algebra 2. You want me to put your name down? All right. Have you seen things like this before? Where we've had rate, time, distance problems? You remember where y'all were like, can I just substitute something else instead of having R sub W and R sub B? I said no, because we're going to be using these later. This is what I was talking about. Yep. How many variables do we have?
4.
How many equations do we have? You have to have the same number of equations as you have, or you have to have at least the same number of equations as unknowns. So if you have 3 variables, you have to have at least 3 equations. Does that make sense? Okay, so we want to reduce it to 2 equations with 2 unknowns. I'm waiting for everybody to write the equations down. Yeah, W's and B's. I know, I'm waiting.
Okay, well, the numbers have to be 2 and 3. That's the only way that the first 2 equations work. That's the only thing. Oh, 1 and 6.
Correct. I only have 1. The last one was 1.
Ha ha.
Then TB, the last one.
Yeah, TB equals 2 minus TW. All right, so how could we get it down to 2 equations with 2 unknowns?
RB and the TB.
Okay, we can put the RB and the TB in which equation? The second one. So instead of RB, what would I write? Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Does that make sense? Will this simplify?
No.
Yeah, you can distribute. Yeah.
Oh, 6 RWB minus 3 RW.
Do you agree? So we used that one and that one to plug in there. We have not used this one. Could we use it somehow? W. That's what's in the problem, W. What do we know about RWTW? So what could I do? RWTW is the same thing as 6, right? Does that make sense? Do you see how that works? Any questions on why I made that a 6? None? Okay. Right? So what is RW? Oh yeah, 24. Right? Okay, now what? Okay, we have RW. What other variable do we need to find? TW. What else? Yes, you have to find all 4. Okay, we have RW as 4. What would TW have to be? TW? How so? Right? Does that make sense? Any questions there? Okay. How can we find RB?
3R, RB. 3R.
Instead of RW, I can put in 4. So 3 times 4 is 12 for RB. What about TB? 2 minus TW. 2 minus 1.5 is 0.5. RB, using this equation. 3 RW is 4. Does that make sense? Yeah. Any other questions? Y'all see how that works? Do they have to be whole numbers? No. Any questions? I wouldn't think so. Any questions here? Okay. We've got another one. Yes.
What are those?
P and C.
It's called plastic.
I have contact. I can see it. Clearly.
Several of y'all do.
Is that pretty? Is that a Q?
I have contact.
That's not a Q. I have lines. Probably put them in wrong.
It's a C and a P.
You actually have.
Because I have them and they work. Take them out every night.
I wouldn't be able to see, like, to tell who each of you were without my glasses.
I would be able to tell who you were, but I wouldn't be able to like. From like if you went.
I mean, I could tell the difference between Jamar and Molly. Like, I would know that they're different people.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be able to tell, like, if you were Destiny or Jamar.
Without me seeing her.
No, without my glasses on, like, I would see darkness, and that would, like, that I would know, okay, it's one of them two, but I can't tell which one. I wouldn't be able to see the difference between any of these 8.
Like Sarah.
Please tell me it doesn't even
Like
look
you
like
think-
Emily and Sean.
I
They
think
stood up.
Sky.
Yeah, I mean, like, but, like, looking at just their faces.
Sean and Betty. We were standing up.
Y'all are pretty much the same height.
All right, so looking at this one, what would you want to substitute in?
The RP. And yeah.
Okay, where do we want to put this one? All right. And I need to sub in something else. So TP would equal, You're just simplifying this one, rewriting it. Where are you going to put this in? Yep, back in the first equation. So instead of RP, what am I going to put in? Instead of TP, what am I going to put in? Does that make sense? Do y'all see how that works? Okay. Where can I go from there? RC, 3 times 12. 3 times 12 is 36. We know that RCTC equals 165. So we can just plug it in. Make sense? Any questions so far? Do you agree with that? Any questions on how to get the RC? Okay, now we got to get the other three. Which one do you want to find next? TC, okay, how would you find TC? RC is 33 times TC equals 165. Does that make sense? Plugging it in here. So what do you get? Okay, we also need to find our P. How would I find RP? 3 times RC equals RP. Well, what is RC? Does that make sense? Okay, what about TP? Yeah, you can either do that divided by 99, or you can do TP plus TC equals 12. Either way, you still get 7. Any questions on those 4? Do you have to find all 4 of them? Yeah. Yep. Any questions on these?